Good morning. For those of you who don't know, my name is Maya Karen. I run a fashion blog called Classically Kept. It does feature luxury, contemporary, and how-to style, and now natural hair care. So if you are into any of those things, please consider subscribing to my channel. Click the notification bell. That way you will never miss a video. So today we are going to talk about tonal or monochromatic or monochrome dressing and how to. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so tonal dressing, and of course I will give you several styling outfit inspiration. I will give you several examples, but I have 6 rules. So you guys have heard me talk about tonal or monochromatic or monochrome dressing before. It is one surefire way to just instantly make you look elevated and chic and to up chic an outfit, right? There is an art to it, but these tips that I'm going to give you are going to help you kind of put those tonal and those monochrome looks together, okay? So the very first one, which is obvious but needs to be said, is you have to open your closet and you have to look, right? You have to know what you have in your closet. I know for me, and I know for a lot of people who do have the IKEA pack system, which I am hoping very soon to bring you that, I guess you could say, closet reveal, because some of you have been asking about closet organization. My color or my closet is very much color coordinated. I wouldn't say it's Roy G. Biv, but it is definitely coordinated. So when I open my closet or when I walk into my closet, I can see every single piece within season that I have, whether it be a top or whether it be a bottom, and I can put those two looks together, or I can put those two pieces together, right? In order for me to find out how I'm going to be able to get that monochrome, or how I'm going to be able to or achieve that monochrome or that tonal look, I have to see what's in my closet, right? And this kind of goes back to when we were little. I know we are very busy with our lives right now, but this just kind of comes with learning our aesthetic, learning what we like, and kind of having like a go-to uniform, especially if we kind of wake up in the morning, we're kind of feeling like a little blah or we're in a rush. I do have like a winter outfit and I do have like a summer outfit or like a summer uniform. If there's like a day when I'm rushing and I need something to put on very quickly, I walk into my closet, find that uniform, and I'm dressed. Same thing follows suit with fall and winter, okay? But you have to look in your closet and you have to see what you have. And this is one thing that I think that even as adults we need to do a little bit more, is to play dress up, play in your closet. Take some time, maybe during the weekend, maybe take 20 or 15 minutes and just kind of pair pieces together. I know what I do is I have like, even on Pinterest, and I have in my phone, it's just like saved outfits. I put something together and I really like it. I'll take a picture so I can remember that, so I can either, copy and paste that outfit one day, or I draw inspiration from that, right? All of these styling outfit inspo and all these videos that I do, I have photos of all of those outfits, and you will see that I will go back to those outfits, either copy and paste, or I will draw inspiration from that, right? So I wouldn't necessarily say, play dress up, because we are not children anymore, but spend some time in your closet, okay? Rule number 2, to achieve the tonal look, you will need at least 2 pieces. 3 is better, but 2, and I'll explain to you why, or I will show you why when we start getting into the styling, okay? So typically when someone thinks of monochrome or tonal, they think of a shirt and a bottom, right? When we're talking about maybe like 3, you have a shirt, you have a bottom, maybe you have a purse, or more likely you have a shirt, you have a bottom, and you have a pair of shoes, right? So that is the second rule. In order to achieve this monochrome look, we have to have the same color when it comes to our top and our bottom, right? 2 is the minimum, 3 is ideal. Rule number 3 is going to be add texture, right? When we start talking about the actual styling and what I'm putting together, I will give you several examples of this, especially for the black look, the first one that I'm going to give you. But add texture. Let's say, for instance, and the reason why is you don't want the look to go flat, especially with some of the colors that we're going to be talking about. When we first think of monochrome, what do we think about? We think of black, right? But if you put on a black cotton top and then you put on like a black pair of shorts that are cotton, or a mini skirt or a midi skirt, the look is going to go very flat, it's going to go very Morticia, and it's going to go very uniform, right? So when we are doing these monochrome or these tonal looks, make sure that we're adding some type of texture or design to the outfit so it's not so flat. Tip number 4 is to be on the lookout for warm and cool undertones within the pieces or within the outfit. And I will give you a prime example of this, or a specific example of this, when we start doing monochrome monochrome when it comes to gray, okay? Just be mindful of the cool undertones and the warm undertones. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, I will explain it better once we start getting into the gray monochrome looks. And it does follow suit for other ones, but if you are not someone who is used to, or if you are not someone who is used to monochrome dressing, or if you are someone who is not aware of it, I'm saying gray because that is going to be the best example, okay? Tip number 5, and this is where most people will get hung up when it comes to tonal or monochrome dressing. It works with any color. Most people, when they think of monochrome, they think of like your basic colors, right? You have your black, you have your beige, you have your tan, you have your light pink. You have your grays. It's like the really basic neutral colors that people think of when it comes to monochrome, but it works with any color. You have orange, you have pink, you have fuchsia, you have purple, you have lilac, you have seafoam green, and we will get into some of those colors when we go to the styling. But monochrome works with any color. It's just a matter of what hue you are using within that color scheme. And then again, it goes back to tip 4, which is going to be careful of the warm and cool undertones. And tip number 6, if you are going to use a contrast color, make sure that it is white, black, or your nude. You guys know that I talk about your nude on this channel very often. I have a pair of my nude Christian Louboutin from the nude collection. I'm not talking about like that pale pink, tan, or the beige. I'm talking about a shoe that is your nude, right? And here's the reason why I say use a contrast color. Remember, it's the white, the black, and the nude. I tend to think that nude looks better, especially when you're getting into your warm undertones and your softer colors like a pale pink. The reason why I'm saying that is because let's say, for instance, you want to go for a monochrome all fuchsia look, right? The chances of you finding a pair of pink shoes, whether it be a boot, whether it be a sneaker, whether it be a flat, whether it just be a heel, right? You're not going to be able to find that unless it's on trend or unless a company is specifically making that color shoe, right? You would pick out your nude, black or white if it was more so of a summer look. Same thing would be with like a seafoam green monochrome look, right? You're not really going to be able to find a seafoam heel, right? Unless it's on trend or unless you know where to look. That seafoam you're going to have, let's say you have a jacket, let's say you have a skirt, let's say you have a turtleneck. Let's go ahead and do your nude pump, and then it would depend on you whether or not you have a matching nude bag or if you have a seafoam green bag, right? So that's why I say if you're going to use a contrast color, make sure you keep it very simple. The white, the black, or your nude. And I will give you an example of that when we move into the styling portion of this video. Okay, now that we have gone over these simple rules for tonal or monochrome dressing, let's start very basic, right? You guys heard me talk about black before. When someone thinks of monochrome dressing, probably one of the very first colors that they go to is black, okay? So let's start with black and then let's branch out a little bit. So this first black monochromatic look, which is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so remember I said that we did not want to give off a Morticia Adams look, or we did not want to give a uniform look. So this is the reason why for the top you do see the piping, and then for the skirt we also have some added texture, which is the boucle. This will give depth to the outfit and it will not have a flat look. This will sound funny, but just make sure that when you are doing a black monochrome look that one of your pieces is not ashy or faded. Okay, so to round out this look, the earrings are from J. Crew. You guys have seen these 100 times before, but let's talk about the bag really quickly. I chose this bag because again, we want to add texture. We do not want the look to be flat. This is like a croc embossed. Okay, so we talked about texture. Let's talk about the next rule, which is 2 pieces, 3 is better. In everybody's closet, you have a black top, you have a black bottom, and you probably have a black shoe. This is probably going to be the very first or the easiest monochrome look that you can put together. Next, the easiest tonal look for most people is going to be a camel. You see that all of these camels match and they are of the same hue. My turtleneck, my skirt, and even my shoes. Now, camel does have a warmer undertone, and that's why you see that I have on gold jewelry. As opposed to something like gray, you would probably wear silver because that is more of a cool tone. And then when it gets chilly outside, you can add a scarf or you can add a camel colored coat. And then of course you can add a purse. The next color that will be the easiest for someone to do a tonal look is going to be cognac. Now, you will notice that my skirt is cognac and my purse is cognac. However, my top and my shoes are brown. Now, they are in the same color family, which is why they work so well. If I was to add an extra layer, like let's say a coat, to balance it out, I would add a cognac coat because my shoes and my top are brown. These both are considered warm colors, so they will always go beautifully together. And then you will notice that my earrings are tortoise and they are also gold because remember, we have a warm undertone for this outfit. Okay, let's move into a gray. So you can see that my top has some draping and then you can see that my skirt has texture. It is a wool skirt and then my purse is a pebbled leather. So remember, we want to make sure that when we are doing these tonal and monochrome looks that we are adding texture. So let's go ahead and finish out the look. I do have on brown heels, and then I do also have on very small silver studs. Now, I want to discuss with you what I talked about before, which is one of the rules. Make sure that we're paying attention to warm and cool undertones. And I wanted to explain it to you with gray because it's probably the best example if you don't know what I'm referring to. So we can see that this is an all gray look or a monochrome gray look. But while you're looking at this, you should be able to see hints of blue in it. And I will show you in the next one as well. So this one, you can also see hints of blue. This is a lighter gray. The top does have some texture and so does the skirt. And then the purse matches as well. Now for this one, I did not want to wear the other gray shoes because that is a darker hue of gray. So remember, one of the rules talks about contrasting colors. We can either choose a white, a black, or we can choose our nude. I feel that since this is a light gray, that my nude is going to work best. We want the attention to be on the outfit and not necessarily the shoes. So we chose our own nude. Our third gray look example, this is another light gray look, so you can still see hints of blue in it and the purse does match. Remember our rule about the contrast. I just feel as though that with this look, since it is a light gray, my nude works best. I think black would have been a little too harsh, and since we're going into fall, I don't think white would have been appropriate. Okay, so let's move on to winter white. For me, the first thing that I see when it comes to this outfit is the black string around my ankles. So for me, this kind of throws the look off. This look would be fine if the string was actually white. So I do have two options to show you. Remember, when we're talking about monochrome or tonal looks, we want to make sure that we are keeping it all together. We want to make sure that it is a complete look and something is not sticking out. So the first one would be to wear, of course, the same color shoes. Off-white shoes can sometimes be very hard to come by. So since this is an off-white and it's not a stark white, you can typically get away with a very light beige or a light tan. Or what I did before with the gray is we can add your nude. And as a matter of fact, once you add your nude, you can actually do a purse that matches. This is going to complete the look because it is a nude. We're not going to bring attention to the purse and we're not going to bring attention to the shoes, and it just completes the look. Because we are doing an off-white look, black would be too stark of a contrast. Okay, the next look, you can see that my shoes, my purse, and my skirt match. And then my top is a little bit more on the beige or light beige side. So these are all in the same color family, so this works. And then I do have another option of a sandal. This sandal more so matches my top. And the reason why this work also looks as a tonal or a monochrome look is because, again, it's all in the same color family. So if you look, my shoes and my top match, and then my bag and my skirt match. The last winter white or cream look. So you can see that my shirt, my bag, and my skirt are all the same color. They are the same hue of one color. My shoes are actually more of a tan. If I did not have a pair of tan shoes, what else would work but my nude? So I'd be able to add a nude bag and a nude pair of shoes. For me personally, I think because this is such a soft color, black would overpower the look. Nude or a tan gives the look a softness. Okay, now let's move into some color. So this first look is going to be a green tonal look. So starting, I do have a, I guess you could say, forest green trench coat. Then I do have a sleeveless turtleneck that is more of like a dark forest green. And then my skirt, which is like a wool fabric from J. Crew. And then my earrings are from Tory Burch. So this is definitely going to be a contrast look for me. So I do have black shoes and I do have a black purse. This could also be good for your nude. Next, we have this beautiful blue color. So first, let's talk about texture. You can see that my skirt is more of like a satiny material, but you can see that my top is made of like a sweater ribbed material. Now let's also talk about the rule of 2 to 3. Remember, 2 is good, 3 is best. Luckily for me, I do have a pair of blue shoes. However, if you don't, then we can go back to the contrast rule, meaning we have a full monochrome look when it comes to our top and our bottom, and then our shoes can be white, black, or our nude. I prefer our nude. I just think that it ties everything together. And then again, of course, luckily for me, I do have a blue bag to tie this in together. If you don't have your nude, then of course you can do black. Next, we have pink, and you can see that my top and my bottom are pink. You can see that my skirt is a very satiny material, and then you can see that I do have on a textured short sleeve shirt. And then my shoes actually have pink in them, and then the base of the shoe is a nude or a cognac. So this shoe does tie the look in together. However, if you don't have the same color shoe, you can always go back to your nude, and you can also add a purse. And then also, let's really quickly talk about undertones. Remember when we spoke about the gray, we said that that had a cool undertone. This right here is going to have a warm undertone, and that is the reason why this nude or cognac is going to work together with this look. It's not going to overpower the look, it is going to complete the look, and it's going to make it very streamlined. And lastly, we have a monochrome lilac look. You guys know that I am in love with this color. So my top is lilac, my bottom is lilac, and then let's really quickly talk about the rule of 2, but 3 is better. These shoes, and I will show you up close, these shoes are actually lilac, and that is like the color that is mostly in them. It does have some blue and some pink, but they are mostly lilac. But when I'm standing here looking at this and looking at it back, the shoe actually looks more blue than it does lilac. So we're going to switch these out, okay? Really quickly, I just want to show you, you can see that the majority of this shoe is lilac. It just so happens that with this particular outfit and the lighting, the blue is coming across more than the lilac. So let's go ahead and switch it for my nude or a cognac. And with the shoes and then with the bag, we can see that everything has come together. And then I just have on my Dior tribals. And again, we're talking about undertones. This has more of a warm undertone. So I did choose gold and pearl for my accessories. And I just wanted to quickly speak about the rule of 2 to 3 because it doesn't always work. And that's why it's a good thing to have different ways to achieve a tonal look. Those are all of the looks that I have for you today. I hope you got a better understanding of how you can do a monochrome look or a tonal look. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I just want to remind you that here on YouTube, I do upload videos every Wednesday and Sunday. And of course, you know, right here or right here, I'll put my Instagram handle. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Bye.
We always have it coming.